What is it like to live a life without self love? I used to write blog posts a lot years ago, and now I'm doing YouTubes instead. But sometimes I still get comments on my blog posts, and then they come into my inbox. And this one came into my inbox with comments. So I just looked at the title, I thought, God, yeah, I should do a YouTube on that. So that's the title today, and I will put the link to my blog posts in the description below. So let's ask that question. You can, of course, only look into it from your own experience. So, what is it like for you to live a life without self love, if that is indeed what you're doing? And I want to say that we all do it. it's we all do it, but many times we are not fully aware that we are doing it because we are so identified in not loving ourselves, rejecting ourselves, hating ourselves, criticizing ourselves, doubting ourselves, right? That's that whole bundle of not loving yourself. And most of us don't even know we're doing it because it is so conditioned and it's so automatic. And there's not really a gap of light in there to see what's happening. So I always hope that my blog posts and videos kind of expand the spectrum a little bit. So you can see, you can go like, oh yeah, I'm actually doing that. And that is when things can start changing, because when you're unconscious of something, you're not going to change it because you don't know that you're doing it. But once you become conscious of it, then you have choice. And choice, of course, is where we choose if we want to continue doing that or if we want to try something else. I vote for trying something else. I root for it. But when you do that not self love thing, what is your life like? I remember when I did it, I felt miserable because it was not just once a day that I did it. It was this churning in the background, you're bad, you're not good enough, nobody likes you. Why did you do that? So there's this negativity coming at us, and it does not feel good. It impacts our health, our enjoyment of life, our relationships, our moving into the world, doing something that we love. And again, you can add your own experiences with that, and just be honest with yourself. If you want to share it here, of course, great. But just be honest with yourself and look at that. You're like, wow, I'm really hard on myself. So there is a price we pay for not loving ourselves. And loving ourselves, my goodness, it's so broad. It can just be from um, start saying nice things to yourself, or going and get a nice massage, or start eating healthier. There can be many ways that we express that depending on how we have been treating ourselves. Is there anywhere in your life right now that you already know that you're not loving yourself? Just see what bubbles up for you. And if there is something bubbling up, what is that like? What is it like? And what prompts you to treat yourself like that? What purpose is that serving? Or what part of you are you serving by doing that to yourself? And that's when we start coming into deeper layers where real transformation can happen, where real healing can happen. And when your life can start changing for the better, for more joy and more love in your life. And there's this thing about self-love, the reason to love yourself is because you are love itself. You hear that? The reason we need to love ourselves is because we are love itself. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me anymore because I've done this work for so long and it's kind of my middle name almost. But it is just so beautiful to stop doing that and start bringing that love that you already are. Bring that to the parts of yourself that you have denied love. Again, why would you do that? Who is benefiting from not loving yourself? And when you really start getting a sense that you are love itself, you are love already. So by denying yourself the love, you will always live separate from your true identity, which is God, which is the divine. See, if you know that you are love itself, it's just one thing. There's really nothing else about you that is true except that you are love itself. So when you start denying yourself that, you can see that you're moving away from your true identity, from your true expression, and you live in misery, right? So you leave the home of love. You say, no, you're not going to get love, and you move further or further away, and you become this identity, or you believe you are this identity that is separate from love. And then you beat yourself up and you push yourself, feel miserable. And then a lot of your work on yourself is to try and heal that. You may go to therapy, you may do all kind of things. The answer is to start bringing love to every single part of you. And that's a long journey because there's a lot that we don't know that we do to ourselves. So like I talked about I think maybe one of the last videos is we don't know how much we say no to ourselves. It's some kind of an unconscious pattern where we just live in this resistance to ourselves. So when you start becoming aware of it, like where you do this no, then you can just see it first, and then you can choose to not do that anymore. You can say, no, I don't want to treat myself like that anymore. And then that loving hand that says, no, let's not do that anymore. It doesn't serve any purpose. It will never, ever, ever get you fulfilled. It will never get you to where you want to be or who you want to be, ever. Never, ever. It's totally impossible. The only way is to bring the love that you are and say, no, honey, let's not do that, beating myself up anymore. And then there might be tears and memories and all kind of stuff that can be held in that love. So it can just start, letting go and flowing over and softening and dissolving. And then this love here, then you start noticing like it's actually me bringing love to what I didn't love before. It's not an outside thing. It can certainly help to have an outside source. Divine source would be the best, but that's not outside, it's inside. But it can be helpful to project it out, or a person, a friend, a partner, parents, coaches, teachers, therapists, healers. It's very helpful. I certainly benefited a lot from that. When I was in the Hakomi training many years ago, that's when I started feeling and learning what it's like to be okay with all that I am. So that was my beginning, my entryway into self-love. They didn't call it self-love, but that became my thing later on because I realized that that's what it was. So when you bring the love that you already are, that you only are, you bring your nature, your true nature to the parts that you have pushed away, and you say, just come here. And then it basically melts back into its natural state because it's not being pushed away. And in that, you will start experiencing more of the love that you are. Why? Because you are extending the love that you are. You are engaging it. You are bringing it to life. You're activating it to the parts that are not included. So your heart grows. The love in your heart grows. You have more access to this love that you already are. And then again, when you walk in the world where you are more connected with the love that you already are, I'm going to say that a lot of times today, I think, then you will not be so needy out there to get love because you are already full inside, or at least you are filling up inside. And at a certain point, it starts overflowing. And then you will, it's like a no-brainer to just extend love to people, yourself, of course. And you will not be out there trying to get something because you feel empty of love, because you have separated yourself from love. And so there's just more love available, and that is already who and what you are. And then when you are full inside, you will not need it on the outside. However, you can enjoy it. You can enjoy sharing it. You can enjoy receiving it, but not because it goes into an empty hole. It goes into, a flow of love that is being shared. And that is all we're longing for, really. But we do need to fill up our inner tank, our inner medicine chest. I talk about that in that article, actually. That is the heart medicine chest. That is the medicine that we need to heal the parts that we have been pushing out and rejected. So if you have time right now or later, I would just encourage you or invite you to just start looking at, is there a part of you that you have been very hard to, that you've tried to get rid of, that you are ashamed of, anything like that? Just, I guess, just ask yourself, is that really what you want? And is it getting you what you want? Is it serving you to get to a place that would be better? My guess is that it is not. But I'm open to new experiences. But give it a try, and check out the blog post where I have a lot of tips about how you can actually start softening these rigid, frozen places that are being denied your own love. So that's why it's really beautiful and important that we do love ourselves, because we are love itself. So you can't really separate it, right? It's like, it doesn't make sense to do it, because if you are love, it's like, would the ocean deny the drops of water to be would it deny its the lubrication or the wetness? An ocean cannot deny wetness to a drop or a wave, because it is all wet, it is all water. So you can't deny it. It's just something we can pretend in our mind. And I think we all know that the mind is not usually our best friend in loving ourselves. Although we can certainly engage the mind in changing its mind, we can suggest to the mind, say, "Hey, you know what? Let's try something new. This is not working for me. It's not making me happy. It's not making me feel relaxed or fulfilled. So let's try another tactic." So, so give that a try. And always, I love your comments. Makes me happy when I get your little insights about how some of the videos have been for you. It inspires me. Maybe I can talk a little more about certain subjects because I know they're more engaging than others. So I always appreciate hearing from you. And of course, I love when you like the videos and share them if it feels like it's something that your friends might benefit from. Okay, I hope to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.